What my topic of discussion is like how we can implement CRUD operations in MongoDB database. So what I will do is like I am using MongoClient for my implementing the CRUD operation. So what I've got is like I have already installed the MongoDB package in my application. So let's start by creating a variable. I'm going to say it as MongoClient. Also I am going to call object id because it is going to be used for find one and update operation. So what I am going to do is I am going to say require MongoDB. So this is my first statement. So after doing this I need to connect to my MongoDB. So for connecting to MongoDB, the URL would be something like this is the protocol MongoDB localhost and your port number. Port number is going to be the default port number is 27017. Also I need to check like if I am having some error and I am passing a client variable over here. So what I will do is like I will try to check if there is some error, then I am going to return console.log some error message on my screen. Server not connected, or let's be more specific, MongoDB server not connected, and I can pass my error message over here, right? So once I have done this, I can also pass over here console.log MongoDB server connected. So this is just for checking whether my server was connected or not. So after doing this, what I need to do is like I am going to create a variable where db is equal to client.db. db is like my database name. So I am going to create a new database or like collection over here, that is going to be user collection, right? So I don't have this collection in my database. So if you see in my RoboMongo, I have got this employee test and test db1 in my database. So this will be automatically taken care with the Mongo client and it will be created. So let's first implement inserting some data in user collection. So what I will do is I will say db dot collection. The collection over here will be like I want this to be my user collection, and inside that I am going to say insert one. Over here I am just simply going to pass some variables like name. Name can be like James. Age I can say 32 or anything. So it's saying that it is expecting a comma, right? So I need to put it over here. So I'm just going to insert this data in my database. So I'm just saying db.collection.insert1 name age. After this, I can use promise to return me some data. So I've got some result and some error message with me. So likewise, I can say over here, instead of doing this, I'm going to say just return me the result. So if I try to run this file in my Node.js, then I should be able to see a user DB with a user collection and James and 32 in it. So let's start our application. So I am going to say node MongoDB, and I am going to say MongoDB CRUD.js. So it's saying MongoDB server not connected, error, no hostname or hostname provider in connection string. So let's troubleshoot this. So if I go in MongoClient, and it's saying MongoDB connect localhost. Okay, I think I put this wrong. So handling these error messages are like very good. Now it is connected and it's showing that it has inserted the data. So if I go in my RoboMongo and refresh this, then I am able to see a user collection, user database with user collection, and it is having this data. So I say view document, then I can say that I've got James and 32 is inside it. So let's add a few more documents for our testing purpose. So for doing that, I am going to use insert many. So what I will do is I will simply copy this, paste it. I will say over here insert many, and instead of James I will say Alan. And since I can pass multiple values or like a array over here, so let me start by adding two more data. So instead of Alan I will say RAM. Let me put some tab for clarity. So over here I need to put this. This Alan I am going to say Robin. So let's comment this out first. So I'm going to use a multi-line comment so that it does not duplicate the data. So if now again I run this command, I need to close it. One more thing I need to make sure is like I am closing the DB connection. So what I will say is my client needs to be closed. So I have closed it. Now it should run and close the application. So here we can see that like it has inserted Alan, Ram and Robin over here in our DB. So if I go in my RoboMongo and check for refresh this view, or let's say view documents, then I can see new 3 documents added over here. So now let's start to implement the second functionality, that is like updating the values inside a collection. So for doing that, what I am going to do is I am going to say db.collection. I have got a user collection over here. I want to do find one and update. So for this there are multiple parameters that needs to be passed. So first is like the ID for which I need to update my database. So over here I'm going to say I want this object ID, that is like let's say I want to update this James. So I need this object ID. For getting this I'm going to say view, I'm going to copying this, I will paste that object ID over here. So after getting the object ID, what I can do is like what is like the kind of update I want to do. So I am saying that I want to set some values, and this set, this is going to be a array, and I want to set the name to be Robbie. Also I want to do one more thing, like I want to increment the age by 1. So I will say increment the age by 1. So now after doing this, what I need to do is like I need to set one value, that is like pass some variable like return original, that is something like I want to say return original should be false. That is like I want to return the new value. After this I am going to use my then and say result. So this is going to give me some value, so I am going to say result console.log. So let's indent it properly. I'm saying this should be this way. I want to increment the age by 1. So what is this saying? Property assignment expected. Okay. Or let's either do one thing. We will remove this for now. Or yeah, now this should be fine. Yeah, so I had missed one bracket, so that was all troubling me. So once I have done this, what I can do is like I can run this command. Let's do one thing. Let's first comment this out. So let me use that multi-line comment. Now let me run this command. Cannot find module MongoDB update.js. Let's see what was the problem. Yeah, so actually I am using a old file. That's the main trouble. So if we see that update existing was true, the name was updated to Robbie, age is incremented to 33. So if I go in my logo Mongo and refresh this view, that is like let me open this as new in new document. So if I open this up, then you can see that Robbie is the new name and the age is incremented by 1. So now let's proceed further and try to delete a user. So this operation was for update user. Now I am going to create a method for delete a user. So for doing this, what I can do is like I will say mongodb.collection, and I am going to pass user collection over here dot find one and delete. So for doing this, it's very simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the id property to delete my object. So I am saying new object id, and I'm going to return some result console.log, printing that result. Now I will fetch that id from over, like I want to use this one, delete Robin from my code. So I am saying view document, copy it, and I will add that id over here. Let's comment this out. Let's try to run our application and see what is happening. So Robin was successfully deleted. So if I go and check this in my user database and I say view documents, then I don't have Robin with me. So this is a way like how we can delete a document using the Mongo client. So this is very simple. Now let me show you how we can find users. So for this, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to say mongodb.collection, as I have been doing, user dot find. If I pass empty, nothing, then it is not going to return anything. But since like this is going to so it will be returning me everything. So I need to convert the things that have been stored in this database. So I can do it like this, and in my then call I can say return result, return me a result in console.log result. So this needs to be inside this, and I need to close it, right? So let's try to see what we are getting. So what I can optionally do is like I can use outs, and indenting should be 2. I need to close this. So let me run this CRUD operation file. So it's saying unhandled promise rejection warning. Result is not defined. So yeah, so this was the mistake what we were doing. So let's run again. So it's not returning anything. Let's return simply the result. So here we go. This is like the data that we are getting from the database. So it wasn't returning anything because for pretty formatting what I need to do is like I need to pass json.stringify.opts. This is going to be undefined and 2. Now this should be working fine. So now if again I try to run this application, it said that JSON is not defined. So you need to make sure that you are properly typing your code. So here we go. We can see the data returned by using the MongoClient. So this is how we can create CRUD operations using MongoClient. So if you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Also please share the video and have a great day. Thanks for watching the video.